everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Joy. I'm a nurse practitioner living here in Houston. I make content about nursing, living here in Houston, and how to achieve your goals. If that sounds like something you're interested in, go ahead and push that subscribe button and let's get into the content. So today's video is going to cover how to achieve your goal if your goal is to travel to Egypt. Before, I had made a video about my Egypt trip, my experience, the things that I did, the hotels I stayed at, and the flights that I took. You can watch that video here. That's part one. Go ahead and watch that video, then come back to this video. This video is part two. So I'm going to be breaking down the cost of everything and going over again what I did. And if you stay to the end, I will post the itinerary so you can screenshot it or write down what you want to do. And also all the places that I stayed, the activities that I did, I have linked them down below for you guys so you can click on the link and book it straight from the link. So if this sounds good to you and you know you're traveling to Egypt, want to become a traveler, you're interested in tips on how to travel, please subscribe to this channel and share this channel with your friends who also want to travel. Let's get motivated. Let's build a travel community together so that we can keep talking about it. And leave me a comment down below. Where's the next place you are traveling to? Hopefully it's Egypt. Okay, so obviously prices are going to be different for everybody and depending on the trip you set up for yourself. This trip did have tour guides and hotels, not Airbnbs, and I was not out in the streets of Egypt alone. So my prices are different. I went in September. I went September 3rd. So depending on what time of the year you go, all can affect the price of your activities and your hotel. But this is just something to kind of give you a mindset of what I paid. So I booked my flights on Google Flights through United, and I flew from St. Louis to Chicago to Zurich, then to Cairo. It was around 14 hours. So it was a very uncomfortable flight in economy. If you can afford to not stay in economy, please do not stay in economy. It was an uncomfortable flight. I mean, it's very doable. If I had to do it again, I would do it because I'm never going to give up travel. But if you can upgrade your flight, please do it. So on the way back, the flight went from Cairo to Frankfurt to Chicago to St. Louis. That flight was around 13 hours and it cost $1,330. So not bad. Not too bad. I felt like it wasn't too bad. I mean, I was paying for me and my daughter, and that wasn't bad for a flight to Africa to me. Then I also had my flight from Cairo to Luxor, and we used Egypt Air. That was a very cheap flight. The flight was $95 to go to Cairo to Luxor and then back Luxor to Cairo. Flights were around 1 hour long. So we blinked and it was over. So not bad at all. And then we caught a flight from Cairo to Hurghada. So we couldn't fly straight from Luxor to Hurghada. We had to fly from Luxor back to Cairo in order to get to Hurghada. That flight was also very short, 1 hour long, and around $40 per person. So very cheap. So the total price for my flights was $1,600, and that covered all the flights that I took while traveling to Egypt. And then getting into the activities that we did, like I said in other videos, I had tour guides. I had a tour guide in Cairo, and I also had a tour guide in Luxor. And so my prices of everything was kind of built in, but I broke it down for you guys, and then I put the links down below if you want to book these activities. So in Cairo, we did the Giza pyramids, the Sphinx, and we did ATVs at sunset in the desert, and it was wonderful. That was around $100 per person with our tour guide included, who was Muhammad. I told a whole story about Muhammad in my other video, so you can go check that out. But the Giza pyramids were around $8 per person, so not bad. When you get up there, you can just pay for your tickets. The camel ride that we took was around $20, and that just took us around the pyramids to get our pictures. And then the quad bikes at sunset were around $50 per person. That was actually a pretty long excursion too. We had so much fun and they took so many great pictures, so definitely worth it. 10 out of 10. And like I said before, the $100 included the camel ride, the quad bikes, the Sphinx, the pyramids, and the tour guide, all for $100, and then we tipped extra. Then once we got to Luxor, we had Smiley, which is our tour guide there, and I told you in my other video about Smiley, but he's wonderful. I did link his Instagram down below. I had talked to him through WhatsApp and set up what I I wanted to do, and he had everything set up for us. So we looked at the West Bank and the East Bank. We did the Karnak Temple, and we did the Valley of the Kings, and then we also did hot air balloon with him. So the East Bank and the West Bank tour was around $63 per person. He did pick us up from the airport and did transportation to all the tours as well with this price. The hot air balloon was around $80 per person, and that included our transportation as well. It started at around 4:30 a.m. They picked us up from the hotel and took us to the hot air balloon and then brought us back. So it was a deal, and it was wonderful. Like, we were up in the sky. It was so nice. It was pretty, and it was an experience that I was experiencing with my daughter. So I really enjoyed it. And I was thinking, like, because I'm afraid of heights, so I was thinking it was going to be scary, but it was very smooth, like very, very smooth, and I wasn't afraid at all during this ride. Once we got back to the hotel, we booked the floating breakfast with our hotel, and it was around $25 per person, which was perfect because there was so much food, and we had the spa pool all to ourselves. Like, nobody was with us. We were able to take pictures on the Nile River. Yeah, $25? Yes, of course, I'm paying that. Then the next day we went to Hurghada, and our only excursion that we had there was the yacht and the trip to Orange Bay Beach. And I told you guys in my other video that this was something that I enjoyed. The staff was wonderful, the food was wonderful. They had snorkeling, scuba diving, massages on the deck. The music was good. They had line dancing. Like, it was everything that you could think you want in a little private yacht party, and it was only $63 per person. Well worth it. The food was good, like everything was good. Like, what? $63 for that? Yes, absolutely. I'm booking that. So yeah, book that. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. The total for all those activities in all three cities was around $330. So not bad at all. $330 per person. Remember, all this is per person. So the hotels that we stayed at was wonderful. And the first hotel that we stayed at was the Marriott Mina House in Cairo. These are hotels that are described as 5-star luxury hotels in Egypt. So breaking down the price for the Marriott Mina House, for 2 nights, it was around $1,000 total. And we stayed in the deluxe pyramid room. So obviously you can get a cheaper room, but I wanted to stay in this room because you could literally see the pyramids like straight off your balcony. Like, you open your windows and there's the pyramid. So that was the room I chose, but you can definitely stay there for cheaper if that's what you want to do. But it was well worth it to me. Now, this was not an all-inclusive resort. We did a lot of breakfast in bed type situations here. So we did spend more money because we had to pay for everything that we were eating, but it was still such a vibe. And it was only like 10 minutes from the pyramids, like right there. So worth it. In Luxor, we stayed at the Hilton Luxor Resort and Spa, and it was also a very nice hotel, and it was so good. The restaurants were so good, and this is where we did the floating breakfast. We stayed for 2 nights, and our total was around $480. So not bad. Then in Hurghada, we stayed at the Steinberger Resort Ras Sama. I hope I said that right. All-inclusive hotel and resort, and it was so nice. It was brand new, so everything was beautiful, clean, everything smelled so good. Well worth it. 10 out of 10, and it was all inclusive. So yes, thank you. We stayed in a Superior Queen Seaside View room, and we stayed for 2 nights, and our total for that hotel was around $700. Our last hotel that we stayed at was connected to the airport. We stayed there out of convenience because I did not want to be flying early in the morning trying to catch our flight from Cairo to get back to the United States. So this was very convenient, very well worth it. And it was the Meridian Cairo Airport Hotel. This hotel had a bridge that was directly connected. Our butler walked our luggage over with us. He made sure that we got on our flight. We did room service there, and the hotel was so beautiful, and it was only $160 for the night that we stayed there. So well worth it. Our total price for the hotels that we stayed in were around $2,200 for all the hotels. So my total price for traveling to Egypt was around $4,200 per person, and I paid for me and my daughter to go. This did not include the tips that you are expected to pay, so make sure that you bring a bunch of ones so that you can tip, because you have to tip everybody that helps you, like your drivers, tour guides, anybody that helps you need to tip, so you need to bring a bunch of ones for that. And then it did not include the food that we ate at the other hotels that were not all-inclusive resort. Okay, I'm going to post my itinerary up here while I talk to you about some tips that I have. This is a little bonus. I want you guys to watch the end because I want you to get all of these tips. Number one tip, I feel like you should use a tour guide. Like if you are a woman, you should be using a tour guide in Egypt. It's just so much hassle to be trying to do these excursions without a tour guide. They keep the people who are trying to sell you things back. They keep the people who are trying to take pictures with you back. And you also get the knowledge, like they get to talk to you about, you know, what you're seeing. So it's just worth it to have a tour guide. Number two, you can dress however you want to dress. It's just the same way how it is in America. Understand that if you're not covered up, like people will look at you, men will look at you, somebody might touch you. It's the same exact treatment. I didn't experience anything like that, and I wore flowy dresses and I wore shorts, so you could wear whatever you want to wear. Most important thing is make sure you wear comfortable shoes, especially if you're trying to do these tours and these excursions. Like, girl, you're going to need some comfortable shoes because it's a lot. But as far as clothes wise, you can wear whatever you want to wear. Unless you're going to a mosque, then you need to be respectful of the culture and make sure that you cover up. But during my research, people were saying like, oh, you need to cover your hair, your knees, your elbows. Like, girl, you don't gotta do all that. So wear whatever you want to wear, but just understand that you will get what comes with whatever you wear as well. Tip number three, be ready to take a lot of pictures. This is a trip of a lifetime, and these are memories that you will want to have and want to keep. So be ready to take a bunch of pictures. Tip number four, read up on Egypt history. This book right here, I recommended this book in my other video, but I have linked it down below. I bought this book off of Amazon. It's called When Women Ruled the World. I wanted to learn about all the female pharaohs, and this book right here has it. If you don't want to read the book, you can download the Libby app and you can listen to it for free. It just helps so much if you know something about the pharaohs that you are going to see. That way all the tours don't just turn into being tour after tour after tour, like you're invested in these people. You know their history, you want to see it. It's just so much better. So make sure you get some knowledge before you go. Tip number five, make sure you try all the food, but understand there are consequences. Like your stomach is not ready for that food. So bring the medication that you need in order to help you with the diarrhea that you're going to have. And don't drink the tap water. I did use the tap water to brush my teeth and I was fine, but don't drink the tap water. Tip number seven, do not book an Uber. I don't care what those people say. Uber is not safe for women in Egypt. Do not book an Uber. Book a private driver. You can book it on Viator. Literally, you'll have a private driver to take you everywhere. An Uber is not worth it. Just pay the extra money or contact your hotel. They usually have private transportation that you can use to and from the airport. Do that. Number eight, bring small dollar bills because you are going to be expected to tip everybody. This is the way that people make their money. So be respectful of their culture. Bring small dollar bills so that you can tip everybody that helps you. Number nine, it is better to book private driver instead of catching all those flights. So if you can do that, if you can book a private driver to get you to point A, point B, like, yeah, the drive may be 3 hours, but guess what? You're going to spend that 3 hours in that airport anyway. So book the driver. It's well worth it. Number 10, do not worry about getting your visa. You can get your visa upon arrival. It's around $20-$25 and it's not worth it trying to get your visa before you go. Number 11, make sure you pack your sunscreen because baby, you are not ready for that heat. I'm black and I wasn't ready for that heat. Like nobody is ready for that heat. Pack your sunscreen. Number 12, enjoy yourself. This is a trip of a lifetime. Most people will never be able to experience this. Yes, some things will not work out how you expected. Some things will go wrong and that's okay. Like just take a deep breath, girl. You are in Egypt. Like it's okay. Number 13, if you're celebrating something, put that in the comments when you book your hotel. I put it in the comments that I was celebrating passing boards and literally every single hotel hotel had a cake waiting for me that said congratulations. It was so cute. The last resort in Hurghada bought it out at the restaurant for me. Everybody could see it coming. Like, they celebrated your girl in Egypt. So if you booking your trip, put that you're celebrating something. Like, even if you're not, girl, put it in the comments. Number 14, you need more than 10 days in Egypt. I did 7. 7 was not enough. You need more than 7, more than 10. Like, if you want to see everything, make sure you have plenty of time to spend in Egypt. Number 15, and this is my final tip, put an air tag in your luggage. That way you can keep track of your luggage at all times. When flying through Germany, Switzerland, all that, you want to be able to see that your luggage is on the plane with you. So put an air tag in your luggage. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm here to encourage you to travel more. Please travel more. And if you want to travel, leave me a comment down below letting me know where you want to go. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.